Ah, dearie me. What do we say? 1-1 with Sunderland. Let's go back to the car now. First half, man. Got to talk about that first half. We were awful, weren't we? We were just... We didn't wake up for about 13, 14 minutes maybe. They were all over us right at the start of the game. And it's just a bit like, what on earth are we doing here? Like, everything that looked so good against West Ham at the weekend, none of it seemed to work. And, you know, I think you've got to credit Sunderland there. Obviously, this 4-5-1, which drops back into a 5-4-1, made it incredibly difficult. There was no space for Florian Wirtz whatsoever. He was showing time and time again, trying to get into the game, and the passes weren't coming to him, unfortunately. And, you know, so difficult in that situation. But by the end of the first half, I was so frustrated with what we were doing, because it was just plod, left to right, plod, left to right, over and over again. And it was just pathetic, to be honest. And you're just thinking, come on, lads, you can do better than this. Try and find someone with an incisive pass. Try and find someone with in a red shirt in the penalty area. Like, come on, lads, let's go for it. Like, there was no fight. There was nothing in the first half. And thankfully, in the second half, we showed something. You know, the goal, though, I mean, it's conceded, it's so easy again. And I don't know whether I'm right in saying this, but it looked like, from my view, which was the very back of the cop, to be fair, that, like, McAllister maybe could have had an opportunity to win a second ball off. I think it was a Virgil van Dijk header or something. And then after that, he's got all the time in the world to you know, the fella who scores got all the time in the world to smash that one goalwards. And I don't know whether it had some kind of a deflection or something. It kind of looked like a funny bend on the ball from where I was, again, the other end of the field, like the other end of the stadium. So it was a difficult one for us there. And then you're like, come on, let's see something. Let's see a little bit of fight or something from you. And we got that finally. You know, we started moving the ball quickly. I don't know what Slot did in terms of the changes, tactically, none of that. Couldn't really get my head around any of it. I know we had players up front. I know, you know, Hugo Ekitike comes on. In the end, Federico Chiesa comes on. Fuck me, Federico Chiesa is the best player that Liverpool have ever had. It's as simple as that, really, isn't it? You know, that defensive work, there's the fight, there's the desire that you're showing, and I think that was at 1-1, because they broke away. Like, Florian Wirtz gets his first goal, I think, for Liverpool, unless that one's been given an own goal or whatever. And like, he dinked, and he was 1, 2, is he going to get a shot off? And you're thinking, no, he's not going to get a shot off, and he finally gets that flipping shot off, and the ball finally ends in the back of the net. And what a release that was in the ground. You know, it was so big a moment for us, and it was such a massive release as well, that, you know, we wanted to go on and win that game. And then as soon as we found out there was like 7 minutes of extra time, the ground again got gnarly, and Liverpool just kept throwing things forward. But there was no sort of plan to it all, was there? It was just lump a couple of balls in the box if you can, and see if we can get a second ball and a bounce and it go the right way for us. And it didn't end up going the right way, but at least I felt something today. At least I looked at that side and thought, they're fighting for something. Because in the first half, I was really angry and sad that they weren't showing for anything. So in the second half, at the very least, they've done something that shows they want to fight for points. And I'll be honest, after being a goal down, it was quite nice to get a draw. I'd have preferred the win, but it was quite nice to get a draw on the board, wasn't it? You know, and obviously you're looking around the table, and Chelsea mess up tonight and stuff like that. And isn't that typical Chelsea, by the way, to go and do that? But, you know, we're not fight for fourth. We've got to continue to get, you know, points on the board. And listen, we got a point on the board tonight against a very good and a very organised Sunderland side. But Sunderland at home, Liverpool Football Club, you're wanting a bit more, really, aren't you? Anyway, listen, I hope Florian Wirtz got his goal. I hope it wasn't like you know, an own goal, because it looked like it was going goalwards to me. I think, you know, Mo Salah, we were missing him in the first half. We didn't really have any sort of anything from that right hand side. But then when he came on, I'm not sure he offered too much more than what we've seen in the last few games. Cody Gakpo frustrated me at times, but at times looked dangerous. Ekitike looked really good, and you know, you want to see him get minutes and get games, and Chiesa are exactly the same. Ibu had a couple of moments again during the game where you think, flipping heck, we're going to concede and it's going to be an Ibu mistake again. Alisson didn't look great with his, with the ball at his feet today. His passing was erratic for me. Yeah, and Joe Gomez, I thought he had a really good first half. But when we needed to attack, when we needed to go forwards, you realise at that point they're kind of just letting him cross the ball or whatever. So I think we found that difficult. McAllister, I thought, had an okay first half. He probably has the best chance of the first half. And in the second half, it's like somebody else came out after half time. He was poor. Szoboszlai ran his nuts off as he always does. Curtis Jones seemed to enjoy switching positions with Szoboszlai for right back 3 or 4 times during the game. And yeah, there you go, that's my match reaction anyway. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Liverpool got a point against Sunderland at home.